Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Kraus. But before we begin, if you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today?
Swing.
Yeah, I know. I know. We WD'd 40 these bad boys.
Oh, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
No,
Because clearly there's some squeak there.
Squeak.
We are doing it's the 25th Marvel film.
Wow.
How many have we reviewed? You think?
A lot of them.
Half of them at least.
Oh, at least half. I'd say probably 65, 66% of those. Two-thirds.
It feels like one a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the 25th Marvel film. We're a little late to the game, but we're getting it done nonetheless. Shang-Chi.
Yes, and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
All 10 of them, baby.
You know, I gotta be honest here. Watching the trailers for this, you know, we've done trailer reactions. You guys will go check that out on our YouTube channel. But, you know, going into this fourth phase of the MCU, I was very skeptical of this. I didn't think it was going to be very good. I didn't like the storyline in the trailer that much, but I got to say I was pleasantly surprised with this film.
Yeah, for me, I was right. This was right around Black Widow hype for me.
Yes.
I was like, this is not
And
really...
I still haven't seen Black Widow.
Yeah, Black Widow, it was good, but again, it's probably a movie that, you know, of all the Marvel movies, it just goes to the back of the pack. Yeah. But like you said, I was the same way. Well, we both, I mean, if you go and watch our review, we're both like... I think our first review, I think maybe we did a couple, but the first one, I was like, oh, that seems kind of cool. It seems like it's an homage to a lot of kung fu movies.
Yeah.
Then the second trailer, it looked just like more of a generic Marvel film.
Yes.
But like you said, I was, especially with the first half of this film, pleasantly surprised.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely did work out like an homage, tip of the cap to a lot of kung fu movies in this first half, for sure.
And the action was fucking awesome.
That's
the
what I'm saying,
choreography
man.
was really good.
They use old school techniques. They use some wire fu.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yeah, but I love
the wire fu. Oh,
yeah,
love
man.
the wire
and it was
fu.
awesome. The way they sprinkled that wire fu in there was awesome, man.
One of my favorite scenes. We'll jump all around, but I did end up enjoying this film a lot more than I thought I would.
Same.
But I love the scene of the flashback of his dad going to the sacred temple or whatever, and then having to fight, you know, his future wife or whatever. Right. That seems straight out of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Absolutely.
The way they're dancing with each other, but also the wind and the leaves. That's classic kung fu.
And the eye contact too, as they're like, you know, throwing
the slow down music where it's like almost a romance fight scene. You know, doesn't work in any other aspect besides kung fu movies.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I love those. The first half really works like a really good homage. Like, you can almost see it going through the generations of kung fu films. Like, it goes through that scene, and then it gets to the bus scene, which really felt like a more John Wick esque current kung fu style, or Mr. Nobody. It reminded me of too.
Mr. Nobody or Villainous as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
yeah,
that bus scene.
The entire time it was like going through generations. And I really thought that was
a Korean film, but I mean, awesome. That bus scene. It reminded me of Villainous.
But all those films are inspired by Chinese kung fu films, which, you know, started it off. So everyone doing a kung fu inspired film is going from Chinese, and that's what they did. They did a really good job of like tipping their cap to all the films that came before.
Oh, absolutely,
for sure. I love the first half, and then the second half I thought gets a little more generic. It's a little more Marvel. We end up getting a giant CGI dragon at one point.
Yes, we do.
Kind of a generic looking villain-esque monster, I thought.
Yeah,
but the fight scenes were incredible.
They were.
I really liked it. Aquafina did great. I think she's hit and miss for me sometimes, but
but this one I liked her in. Yeah,
this is a big role for her because she's moving away from the comic relief and moving into a love interest role.
Yeah.
Although what I loved about this is they don't go heavy into that.
No.
Which at the very start,
Which,
I was
because
thinking,
they were friends
oh, no.
the whole time, and then, but it never like really.
It's never this thing of like she always loved him. Like that's what I thought for sure. Like she's always had a big crush on him.
Right.
She's never been. No, not at all. No. They're just cool two buds that work at the valet.
And there were some funny scenes between those two, like when they're like, you know what, we should be responsible, and then they go to the karaoke bar and get plastered drunk. You know, like that's funny.
Some surprisingly adult material as well. I know Marvel likes to sprinkle that in for the adults bringing their kids, so they can be like, huh, yeah. Why the kids don't get it at all, man?
No,
okay, I get it. But there's some adult humor in this for sure. But yeah, the comedy works well. Again, I really like that they did not end up going that route with the love interest role and whatnot. It's like it's played super organically. No one is falling in love with anyone. I mean, they fall in love through the journey, which is how it should fucking be.
And too, I actually liked the villain here because you sympathize with the villain. I thought the father was just going to be this stereotypical.
He was great.
Bad father, where it was like, oh, I'm a bad guy, but like there was so much more to him. He was so much more layered as far as like dealing with the death of his wife and then, you know, trying to get his kids back. See, I thought he wanted his kids back to like rule the world or whatever, but he just wanted to find, you know, his wife.
Yeah.
So you kind of sympathize with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that guy, Tony Leung or Leung or however you want to say it, he is a well-known like Chinese actor and like kung fu movies. He was in Hero with Jet Li, and he was in Chungking Express, which is a film that we always get told to review.
Well, we actually reviewed the trailer for that as well.
Yeah, which is a movie because that's one that Tarantino fucking loves. He always talks about it.
It was like 1993 or 1994.
Yeah, right around Reservoir Dogs when Tarantino was getting his start. But yeah, he's fucking great. He's great in this. He's clearly a good martial artist because he's kicking ass. He's I guarantee that guy's probably late 50s or something.
Oh yeah, probably.
But he doesn't look it. I mean, he looks super young, but he kicks ass. And yeah, he was a great villain. He was not kind of the one-dimensional.
I really thought
Ultron-esque.
Yeah, when he got introduced and we found out it was the father, I was like, okay, here we go with the bad guy father. I was like, so stereotypical, but I really did like the way they went with it. It wasn't it wasn't tropey, you know.
He was a hard ass, and he had always been a hard ass. Well, up until his wife dying.
And I love the relationship between Shang Li and his sister as well, because she wasn't really allowed to train.
His sister was great.
Was trained behind closed doors.
That was her first acting role.
The actress, the adult?
Yes.
Wow.
Her first acting role was, yeah, I know.
Well, hats off to that. I would have never guessed. I thought she was an actress.
That's that first half, that scene when they go to the fight club and
I love that
Wu
scene.
is fighting Abomination.
Yeah.
That was really
Those were cool.
I wanted more of that.
I know.
Wu needs his spinoff series already.
I agree with that. I agree. But it needs to be like a spinoff like Disney Plus TV shows.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. He needs 10 episodes of him just
think about
traveling through dimensions.
Yeah.
He's so powerful, clearly.
Well, and it would be like the Marvel's version of like Rick and Morty, where you're just traveling through dimensions.
And he's got
different places.
And he's hilarious too. I mean, he's got that really dry wit.
Yeah,
and he's everywhere. He's in every movie.
And he's everyone's friend, even the guy he was fighting.
Yeah, one of my favorite jokes in all of Marvel is when like Wu saves Tony Stark and Tony goes, "Wu, you're invited to my wedding," and he just flies off. Yeah, I love Wu, man.
Yeah,
he's super mysterious too.
Yeah,
you don't know a lot about him, but he's everywhere. Like you turn, he's fucking there. And he fought Abomination, who was just indestructible. But they were kind of throwing the fight, I guess. That was the kind of thing. Yeah, what's that? Are we gonna get more Abomination, who is a bad guy?
Maybe.
Because everyone thought going into it was Hulk he was fighting in the trailer.
That's Hulk's villain is Abomination. Yep. Yeah.
He's from the Edward Norton.
The original Hulk. Yeah, that's right.
Well, not the original. That's
the
second one. Yeah,
the second one.
Yeah, not the Eric Bana one, but the Edward Norton version. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if that's a one-off. Or maybe they're setting him up for.
Hopefully, they're setting him up for something. That'd be cool because I
an Abomination Wu spinoff with just them going,
Yeah, just going around doing crazy shit. That'd be fun.
or just them going around, just rigging fights. Yeah. Being like, I think that'd be awesome. But yeah, I definitely want to see more Abomination for sure. Yeah, exactly. How have they not done a Hulk? I'm guessing they just can't get Mark Ruffalo to sign off on his own film. Yeah. Because
too much work.
But that's one that's like, I think it's also like a Fantastic Four kind of thing where it's never worked yet.
Yeah.
But now, now they can make it good.
They can make a good one.
They've completely figured out the formula.
And I think Thor Ragnarok was as close as you're ever going to get.
Exactly.
And that was more like a buddy situation.
And that is the best Thor.
Unquestionably. That's still my favorite Marvel film of all time.
Yeah, it's the seriously. It's the best. I mean, that's the best Hulk of any version that they've had of him. Yeah, for sure. Why can't we get Planet Hulk or something? Which that was kind of Planet Hulk was their version of it, but
a continuation of it wouldn't be a bad idea as a standalone.
I love Hulk. Something. He's one of my favorite he's indestructible. Obviously, the indestructible Hulk, but
I got the Hulk thing right up there.
I know, he's bursting out.
Bursting through the brick wall.
Yeah. But get back to Shang-Chi. I love the first half. I thought the second half gets a little generic when they go to the I don't even know what it is, this hidden dimensional.
The mom's hidden land, yeah.
Everything gets a little cartoony once you get there.
The lions were cool though. Those massive lions, I like those.
Yeah, they were based on like the statues you see at Chinese restaurants. Stuff like that was all. Everything there was like based off something you see in a Chinese restaurant come to life. Like,
for sure.
Like there's a reason why they do these statues is because there's actual real version of these things, right?
And I thought for sure when the fighting started, I was like, "Okay, you have two of them, so one's gonna die and the other one's gonna get sad." And that didn't happen.
No,
I was like, "Oh, nice."
You barely. I have to say, probably not used enough. The lions.
No, they weren't. I want to see them rip
People were
some
dying
things up.
left and right.
Yeah, they were.
Let's send those guys out first. These guys. I don't even think they have souls. No. Nothing is taking the soul out of this thing. So
because they both survived, they didn't seem to be in any trouble at all.
Danger at all. But people are dying left and right.
When they're like soul suckers too, which I actually like because that's a terrifying aspect of it. I mean, especially if you're a kid going and watching this.
Yeah,
like these things would pick you up and they'd suck your soul out.
I wish it was more. Devil. It was very like. As safe as they could do it.
Oh yeah,
I thought it'd be like horrifying, but it ended up being just
where it's
some
like
magic
you take a skeleton out of and
then
something. The skin suit falls.
Yeah, or just that'd be cool. Liquefying them. Yeah, like the bug off Men in Black.
Yes.
Well, I thought it'd be at least these things just going around killing people, but it ends up being because it's like that's like the least violent way you can kill someone is by sucking a magic orb out of them.
Yeah,
because that's what they do is they suck the orb and then they like hold on to your soul. Now they have like a little ball soul, and they go and feed it to the big soul sucker. Yeah, it's
unfortunate though for your soul.
Yeah.
You're never getting it back.
I guess. Yeah. Are you going to hell? What is that?
I think it's hell. It's just a safe bet, but I'm going to call that place hell.
It's so bizarre. Yeah. I didn't love like the third act, but because they move away from like this just being an homage to a Kung Fu movie and then it being a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley. We got to talk about Ben Kingsley. He has a cameo role, actually a pretty large role in this, who played the
hilarious.
Did not see that coming.
Okay.
I do respect them for not teasing that in the trailers.
Well, that's a deep throwback to Iron Man.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, that's some years ago now. So.
Which I have my problems with that because the Mandarin was awesome, and then he ended up being an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Because the real Mandarin is Fu Manchu. It's Shang-Chi's dad.
Oh.
That's why he kidnaps Ben Kingsley, remember? Because he was going to kill him.
Oh, yeah,
that's right. He was so mad that he pretended to be him, Because they never call him Fu Manchu in this, because it's obviously racist.
Yeah.
That is his name in the comic books. But at one point, his dad does go, I went by many names. And he rattles through, never says Fu Manchu.
No, he doesn't. Not one time. Not one single time. They weren't taking that risk. They said,
hell no.
You can put two and two together, but we're not going to openly say
Let's not offend probably the biggest audience that is going to come and see this film is China. So let's not call them.
Well, they're not playing this in China.
Yeah, I heard about that. Oh. That's crazy. There's got to be some Chinese people upset about this.
Well, yeah,
like we got our film.
Yeah, and then they're not even going to play it over there.
Because, like I said, it is a really cool homage to kung fu films,
yeah, it is.
like in martial arts films that Chinese people would really enjoy.
They love, yeah. And they're like, "Yep, not going to have."
Well,
it
action
over
films are the only film that do well, and in China, so
they do love their action films.
this would be right up. Oh, absolutely.
They love their Fast and Furious over there. Their Transformers.
Yeah.
They love all that. No.
Unfortunately, yeah, but they love their kung fu films as well, and
Yes.
martial arts films, obviously. But
Well, who doesn't?
the
I
good
think it's
ones,
universal.
the good ones, absolutely, man. I love a good dramatic, crazy. The kung fu movies always got crazy stories in them, where it's always some guy who was a kid and now he's coming back for vengeance or whatever. It's always like that.
The first Kill Bill is my favorite
which
kung
is
fu film. Like I would say,
literally
modern-day
a
kung fu film.
2.5 hour homage to every kung fu film that came to mind. I mean, literally, there is a Fu Manchu character.
There is, yes.
Which is that character is fish heads. He loved his fish heads.
He did.
So I took that bitch's eye. That's the best scene.
That trailer scene too is so fucking wild, dude. She takes the other one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrifying. Snake's still in that trailer too.
Yeah, great. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no heads being cut off in this.
No.
Unfortunately.
No.
It doesn't get that violent.
It does not.
But yeah, it does work out though. The fight scenes are very well choreographed.
Yes.
Very well done. I think Shang-Chi, who's our main character, I think he kind of jumped to the top of the most powerful Marvel heroes.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. Those 10 rings.
And that's something I want to talk about too, because I actually enjoyed this part of the third act. And yeah, it is a little stereotypical, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit because the whole build up to this was the father saying that you're never going to get the rings unless, the only way you can get these powerful rings is if I give them
Well, he never
to you,
takes
which
them off.
I never will.
He never takes them off. He says that very clearly. He showers with those things on.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
he definitely does. Yeah, but I don't know if he's washing his hands or doing
No,
whatever
you
with
can't.
them.
And they're
But
not rings like you think. They're rings.
the rings
They go
around his arm.
They're shower curtain rings.
They are. But he says that he's never going to give, like, these will always be his. And then at the end, the father obviously gets caught by the dragon Dementor thing.
Yes,
and then he
Dementors.
gives
That's
the
a good
rings.
the name for it. Yeah, they are Dement. The little
kind of
ones
are,
are.
yeah.
They suck
Yeah,
the
they
soul
are,
out
yeah.
of you. Yeah, that's why I thought it was too generic for me. Those little things.
But he gives Shang-Chi the rings. And then, it's game on from there. I actually like that a lot.
Well, I didn't like the only thing, like, the action scenes were good, but the writing of that third act became very formulaic of what Marvel always does.
Well, of course.
It fell right into place, which is unfortunate for me, but all the fight scenes were good. Even in that third act, that tug-of-war-esque fight scene of them with the rings, where they're pulling at each other, trying to get... Yeah, that worked out.
And it was like it was like an orangish red, and then
Yeah, and then
blue.
he was blue, bad rings.
I like that.
But...
And I like the dragon fight scenes, too. I thought those were fun.
Yeah, that's the only thing where it just becomes just a CGI blob for me, and I even have trouble with it. So much CGI, you can't. For me, it's hard to tell. Like those Transformers movies, when those guys start fighting, it's just a mesh of metal, and you're like
2 hours of it.
What the
You're
fuck
like,
is going on?
jeez.
I did like the underwater dragon scene when his
he's
dad fucking blasts him underwater.
And
So
then
you thought
he's
that
sitting underwater, and the dragon comes up.
that
Imagine that'd be the worst thing ever if you didn't know that dragon.
the deep seas already scare the shit. I don't know what's going on down there.
And you open your eyes, you see a giant beast in front of you.
Swimming around
Oh,
you.
God, it's awful.
Yeah, I do not enjoy it. Fucking
That's when I'm
like
sucking
mermaids
in
and
water
shit.
first.
Just my god, trying to drown, trying to
trying to
clasp my own
drown.
lungs, choking myself.
This isn't working.
I'm living too long.
Drowning sucks too.
Yeah, it's just as scary. Yeah, yeah, but that one I like that because it was like a very traditional looking Chinese-esque dragon. Very traditional. Gets his ass kicked. That dragon does for a lot of the time.
Oh, did you watch the mid-credit and post-credit scene? I didn't.
No, fuck no, dude. I don't stand around for that.
Dude, I can't do it anymore. It's like every
too
single
long.
movie. It's like you expect me to sit here an extra 15 minutes. I got shit to do.
At this point now, I have to go to the bathroom after every film,
Yeah,
it feels like.
same.
So I'm like, like those credits roll, I'm in the hall doing like a dance. Like maybe if they do it fast enough, I'll be able to catch it.
Yeah.
But it's these mid-credit scenes.
And
it's
then
like
the end credit scene, and I'm like, I don't have the time. I don't have the patience.
no, I don't need to see who the second assistant key grip was just so I can finish this film.
Yeah. I mean, good work, but
You gotta give him credit, but I understand. I don't need to go that deep into the credits just for me to finish the film. But do you know what they were?
yeah. So
you
in a
can get into it.
in a mid credit scene, Wong introduces Shang-Chi and Katie to Bruce Banner and Carol Danvers.
Okay, so I saw the scene at the very end when they're in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that scene, didn't you? Where they're in the bar with their friends explaining the whole story.
Yes,
And
and
then,
then Wu shows up with the thing, and then they're because they thought they were crazy the whole time, and then he shows up, and then they leave.
yeah, and they go, okay, so there's more after that, is what you tell me.
Yes. And then they discover that the 10 rings are emitting a mysterious signal. In a post-credit scene, Zhling becomes a new leader of the 10 rings, and after telling Shang-Chi that she was going
His
to
sister,
disband the organization.
So she's bad now.
Yes.
Is what we're getting at.
I think so.
Did he give up the 10 rings? Is that a part that we missed? I mean, he wasn't wearing them around.
Yeah,
so
so
I'm guessing.
she becomes the new leader of the 10 rings after telling Shang-Chi that she was going to disband the organization. So it sounds like he gave her the 10 rings. It's a little confusing.
This is a film I see them working on a sequel pretty quick.
Do you think a sequel, though, without Shang-Chi in more of like a woman lead? So Zhling?
No, I think it will be
Ling,
him. I'm most likely going up against her.
Oh, okay.
Like maybe they're setting up a new villain. That would not be very exciting as a villain.
No,
Because you
having a
already
sister.
did the family element of having a bad family member you have to go up against. So I don't. But they're clearly setting something up for that. Yeah. Maybe a spinoff for her, a TV show or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But
she wasn't bad the whole time. She actually came back and helped, and
she was fine at the end.
Yeah, it'd be weird that she's just like, okay, now I'm going to be the evil one.
Well, maybe that just meant she's keeping the organization going, but maybe she'll use it for good. Because remember, the 10 rings, they were like toppling governments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It
was a secret shadow government.
Yes, exactly. Because the dad, the main bad guy, Tony Ling or whatever his name is, centuries old.
Yeah, he's an old man.
Thousands of years old.
He had a good life. Good long
Yeah,
life.
he ran his course for sure.
did.
I mean, he was done. But yeah, that's one thing when you talk, he's centuries old. So whoever possesses these 10 rings is going to live forever. Mm-hmm. How are they going to do that?
So maybe that's why the sister's like, you know what, bitch, you got all the fucking training. I had to go behind and do all the secret training.
Yeah.
It's my turn.
But it would be very... I take it back. I don't think they're setting up for her to be a villain role. Because I totally forgot that they go through huge character development of him abandoning her, and then they finally get over it.
They do. Because she comes back to save him. And then she's like,
so,
you know how it feels.
So for her to go right back to be like, fuck that guy now. Like, all that development.
Sis, I thought we were good.
We haven't seen each other for 15 years. We mended things. Yeah, it'd be very odd.
It would be.
But yeah, so Kevin Feige has said this multiple times, that those mid-credit scenes and after-credit scenes are literally they just put those in to set up the possibility of a spinoff. Yeah. A lot of times they don't go anywhere. But a lot of the times they can go back and they're literally leave those so vague and so open for interpretation that they can work that into any story. Yeah. So it's possible that nothing comes of that.
Right.
But I mean, again, that's all they're doing is they don't even know where that's going. They're just setting up the possibility of, which is very, very smart in a kind of evil way of being like, we don't know what's going to happen yet. It's Star Wars-esque. We're like, we just got to leave this open because the story has to keep going. Yeah. We don't know where Shang-Chi is going at this time, but they have a really good job of bringing those back full circle and making it seem like they always had a plan.
Well, I feel like that's what they're doing with not to get on the Star Wars thing, but I feel like that's a lot of what they're doing with the Star Wars books because I listen to a lot of them on Audible and the High Republic and stuff is they keep those books kind of separate but kind of in the canon universe. So at any time they can bring it all together the same way that they use the post-credit scenes to kind of bring it all together.
Of course, yeah. They're just protecting their asses. Yeah. That's why I refuse to sit through them. Because most of the time they go nowhere anyways. So
unless it's like a big event, like Avengers Endgame, and you're like, oh, I got to see the post credit to see if whatever it's setting up, or not Endgame, but
the first one,
whatever.
I can't remember.
I don't know. Infinity Wars.
Infinity Wars, right? And Michelle Yeoh, she has a great cameo in it as well. That's a classic kung fu. Speaking of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Michelle Yeoh, man, and they have a very kung fu-esque scene where she's teaching him how to use the wind, right? Because that's what his mom did, and his mom was the only one that was powerful enough
to control the elements.
Yeah, exactly.
Not to get too sidetracked, but we're kind of anything else on Shang-Chi?
No, go for it.
Did you see the last Eternals trailer? Now, look, I'll be honest. I was not excited about Phase 4. I wasn't excited about this. This blew my expectations, especially with obviously the homage to the Kung Fu,
right.
Over the decades. The last Eternals trailer has got me pretty hyped.
I think Eternals is going to be good.
I think it looked pretty good.
I think it's going to be something that's going to end up being really different.
Yeah.
That's my theory. I mean, obviously it has to be because all the Eternals are so fucking powerful. Mm-hmm. But I think that might be the one. Well, you haven't seen Loki yet.
No, I haven't.
Loki, there is a very, very powerful villain in Loki that they set up at the very, very end.
Really?
That's why I like Loki so much, is because you can tell that one's really setting up Phase 4.
Is that the giant space?
I don't want. It is a huge spoiler, so I don't want.
I know. I should just watch it. It's just like,
well, there's a lot of giant space guys.
Yeah, there are.
in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
I mean, they're called. I can't remember what they're called. They're called Titans or something. Mm-hmm. But there is a bunch of old.
Yeah.
But you're not thinking of not Ultron, but
would I have to watch WandaVision and Captain America in order to watch Loki?
No, definitely.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Okay. Then I think I'm just gonna burn through them.
Yeah, because I don't think Captain America is more setting up the new Captain America.
Yeah, because they just announced that they're going to do a film.
Yeah, that one that one is definitely not. But I think Eternals is really going to set up, and the new Spider-Man, which I'm really excited for.
Cannot wait for that.
But both, I think the Eternals and even Shang-Chi is set. Every one of these films is now setting up the interdimensional thing.
Right.
In Shang-Chi, they go through that new dimension go to the bamboo forest or whatever it is. Yeah. But I think everyone in Phase 4 is really prepping you for there's going to be a lot of interdimensional shit. Clearly, we already know that the new Doctor Strange is going to be all about fucking... I mean, it was a horror film at the start, but now it's...
I would have loved that. Who was the original director set to do that? I forget. But was supposed to take those horror elements.
Yeah, it was... Well, now it's Sam Raimi, which is awesome. He did Spider-Man 1 and 2, and he did Evil Dead.
Right.
So they are sticking with that horror. But I can't... The original director was just a straight-up horror director.
Yes.
I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember who it was.
And they immediately kicked him off.
Yeah, they got, you know what? Not really our cup of tea here, pal.
Yeah, because he wanted to do it... really scary.
Yeah.
But Sam Raimi, he did Spider-Man 1 and 2 very horror-esque. There's a lot of those scary scenes in those first Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
So I hope... my big hope was that they brought Sam Raimi on set for this new Spider-Man coming up. Because if Tobey Maguire's... I mean...
I know.
He's the Tobey Wrangler.
Well, it's not just Tobey. It's not just Tobey. There's a lot of them, You got Willem.
So you got to bring Sam Raimi in there. He's the one that knows how to talk to those guys. So... Yeah. Maybe that was it. In my mind, maybe Sam Raimi was on the Spider-Man set or whatever for the new film. And they're like, hey, we just shit-canned this guy.
That's actually a pretty good guess. Or a prediction.
And maybe you want to come over and, because you're already helping us out here. Yep. Maybe you want to come over and help us out.
Maybe you just want to make a movie.
Hey,
you want to make a movie?
Do you need $30 million?
I mean, we got it. It's in a suitcase, a briefcase, just right on this golf cart.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do you want $30 million? I don't know.
Just bring right over on set. We got it. We're shooting them. Now.
That's the cocaine briefcase. Wrong. Sorry.
Whoops.
This is the one of unmarked bills.
Yeah, you just see Willem Dafoe. Like Willem, he's like, I'm the Green Goblin.
He's getting in character. Yeah, it's fine.
It's terrifying.
It's fine for
Don't be around him because he might
from him and don't look him in the eye.
Throw a pumpkin grenade at you. Like Willem,
he is bringing his own props. Unfortunately, again,
it's a problem.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of Marvel.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure that's such a lame statement to make.
But I mean, it's fair because we did have our hesitancy towards like Phase 4, and we were like, I don't know, like with everything going on.
With the scope of the movies coming out, we were both kind of. But Shang-Chi, final words, big surprise.
Yes, absolutely.
And even for Disney, it's becoming a huge surprise because now it's at its third week at #1.
Yes, it is. And the budget for this was 150 to 200 million, and just in the theaters, we're at 273 million dollars at the box office, which is good considering the time that we're in.
And not premiering in China, that's really fucking good. Yeah, and I do not think anyone expected it to be #1 3 weeks in a row because we weren't the only ones with those feelings.
Yeah, no.
Everyone I talked to was like, I mean, one, Shang-Chi is not a super popular comic book character, but everyone was like, yeah, I'm not that excited for it. But it ended up surprising me.
Yeah, I ended up enjoying it quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I would recommend it.
As would I. Yeah, definitely go see this, especially in theaters, too. This is one you want to see on the big screen. There's a lot of really cool
action sequences
elements to this.
Sure, yeah, definitely. Definitely one you don't want to
watch
pay
on
$30 to pay. Yeah,
I mean, maybe Black Widow you could have, but not this one.
For sure.
Yeah.
After seeing Black Widow, and I was like, yeah, the Black Widow ended up being surprising me, too, because I thought it was going to be really boring, but no matter what, all these Marvel films, they're going to be good.
Yeah, there's an element of good to them. None of them are like
they've done
in
something,
the 20s.
they know exactly what they're doing. You can't make a bad film. But the big thing now is, does it separate itself from the pack?
Yes.
And you got to do something real different for that. And I thought Shang-Chi did it with the Kung Fu elements. They nailed it.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty, well, that is our review for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. If you guys like what you've seen here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.